please. The first part of our meeting today, first let me make a point that Magistrate Hutchins is not here today. The first part of our meeting is a public hearing in regards to the 2016 tax rates. This advertisement was mixed up in the paper and got us a little bit behind the 8 ball, but we were able to get it back on track. Fiscal Court is proposing a tax rate to stay the same, no increase on the real estate tax at 14.3 cents. Actually, a little small reduction of the tangible personal property at 14.3, motor vehicle at 16.1, and you guys have copies of that from previous meetings. 14.0 on real estate on public service companies, 14.3 personal property, distilled spirits 14.3, bank deposits 0.025, watercraft 16.1, and aircraft 1.5. Is there any comment from the public that I have not received any written comment? The $40,000 or thereabouts that's going to be above the compensating rate will be used to do some renovations at the Civic Center, and then in this building as well, some additional expenses that we want to incur as we fix up this building. Anybody have any comment? Magistrates, I did not receive any written, Matthew didn't receive any written comment, then we will close the public hearing section of this meeting, then go to our regular agenda items and talk about the first reading of the proposed tax rates that I just presented to you guys. Entertain a motion to approve on first reading, advertised for second. Thank you, Jeff. Is there a second by Bernard Ice? In further discussion, all approved say aye. Aye. Disapproved? The motion will carry. Thank you all. Next on the agenda is an easement for the Talbot Inn. In this case, those who do not know what the Talbot Inn is the new inn right behind this building, on the south side of this building. In doing so, I have the owner, John Kelly, with us today, one of the owners, Jim Bowe. He's actually gone the extra mile in that building, kind of watched them come together, and he's actually put an elevator in that building. And then, of course, with the elevator, you want to make sure they can get in the building. So it requires a ramp on the front side of the building. And I gave you guys a picture or scale of what they're supposed to be doing. We're probably going to try to shorten that down just a little bit when people come around that corner, John. I think Bill, your contractor, is going to shorten it just a foot or two to
yeah, it's supposed to be 8%. That's what they've drawn it. But I think if we work with Logan or whoever, we'll put it. We'll work. If you want to designate the judge work with us on approving the length or whatever, we'll make it as short as we can without making it too steep.
Yeah, and your handrail will be black wrought iron, something to match stuff. Something very nice and tasteful to match.
Whatever, yeah, I guess we'll have to have that approved by the historical review board, and that's another issue that we haven't got to yet. So,
but what this is going to require is somebody to actually draw up an easement, I guess. Would it be a descriptive easement? Descriptive easement?
If you already have one, John, do you know what the dimensions? I guess you don't, because they're not.
Well, as soon as we figure out, I guess once we figure out the final dimensions, and it may be, almost what was on here with. We may try to open up without it at first, but we want to get it all situated before so we know where it's going to be, so we know how to do everything else.
Yes, you would need a written easement.
A written easement, that way covered for the next generation. Don't mean the next court can't undo it though, John. I hate to bring up sore subjects as it's that.
But we looked, and that's the only place, going from, as you're looking at, because that's the main entrance door, it's the only door that the elevator is at. You can't go to the right because it runs into the other entrance. So as you face this, you go to the left. And I agree with the judge, when you come around that corner there, the way it's drawn, you run right into the ramp and rail. So we want to make it good
just
for everybody.
Just as short as we can, and make it work.
So we own to the edge of the building, right?
Yeah.
I've actually done a little deed to the courthouse and drawing of that when it was originally laid out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an odd thing.
Yeah, 3 sides of our property is the building.
Yeah.
The radio station side is, I think we might have this much land. I don't know, just not a little sidewalk.
The At this time, entertain a motion to approve an easement and allow the judge to sign off on all documents related to this easement. Motion by Bernard Ice, second by Keith Metcalf. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove? Motion will carry.
Very nice looking, John. I went over and looked at it every court last Tuesday.
Thank you.
It looks really good.
If anybody else wants to look at it, I'll be glad to show it.
I didn't ask nobody, I just kind of went through it.
Well, that's fine, you got permission.
I'll make a complaint, he didn't have his hard hat on. But he probably
He had his
didn't.
hard hat on.
He didn't have his hard hat. Okay, let's get back on track. Thank you, John. Dispatching update, I just want to bring the court up to date on where we are, make sure everybody's up to date with what we're doing. There will be that $24 fee on all the county tax bills that will be going out. The city of Bardstown, the dispatch board has given them a deadline, if you saw that from last week's meeting, to say yay or nay. And we have Bill Spalding with us today. He's been named as the interim director. Anybody have any questions on the dispatch? I guess the question that's been asked to me is, the city just passed an ordinance that is going to require $24 on the tax bills, but doesn't say whose tax bills it's going on. I don't think Matthew does it.
I haven't seen the enacted ordinance yet,
Yeah.
so I can't speak to it.
Yeah, but you know, the county's imposed that $24. It sounds like the city residents may have an additional $24. I'll leave it up to the mayor and the city council to determine that. But we're moving forward, and the dispatch board has done a good job of holding themselves together under this stress. I want to thank you all. Be sure to thank all the employees out there. Okay, I'm going to go down to the item number 6 on our special meeting today. Is the tax moratorium request for Domino Family Trust, 426 Sutherland Road. They're planning on doing a little small distillery there. They're going to estimated cost to rehab is $875,000. That's the old, we know it's that Hillbilly Heaven property. Barbara has reviewed this and signed it as well. Entertain a motion to approve this request. Thank you, Jeff. Second by Jerry Hahn. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Disapproved? The motion will carry. Okay? One last item on the agenda. I took a few liberties today. I want to discuss the proposed city's occupational tax increase, what effect it will have on county residents. You know, when always preparing any increase in fees or taxes, you know, as elected officials, I think it's our responsibility to say, what impact does this have on a family? What impact does it have on people that are trying to pay their bills? And so what I've done, I've prepared a little chart for you to show you. You know, over 50% of our families in our county are a single parent. Typically a single parent raising a couple of children. So what I did, I hope you managed can see this not, but I wanted the media to make sure they got it. I took a single person with 2 children and I talked about their wage and living analysis. This person's lucky. They've got a fairly good job at $20 an hour and times 40 hours times 52 weeks. They're making $41,600. They're probably in the top tier of that. They're the Heb Hill type of worker, or the Barton's worker, or the Fuji Seal. They're our top employers. The time they pay their federal, state, county, city, FICA, they're going to take home $29,399. Okay, so this person has their own home. They bought their own home, single parent. They're making a $600 a month house payment, and that's based on a $120,000 assessed value home. So you go down through all the line items here: the housing, utilities, car payments, fuel, clothing, etc. Health insurance. This is what I used our rate on the health insurance for a parent, an employee, and children. Then you take all in their property tax on your home. They're in the hole already, just trying to make a decent living themselves, of $1,429. So what they're probably doing is they're probably fudging somewhere along the line, probably driving a used car, or a family, a responsible family or person will make that work. So, when you start talking about adding another $200 to this bottom line, it compounds the problem that a person trying to make it, a working, I call it the working poor, you're just getting by. So I think it's important for us as elected officials, politicians, and I'm asking the city to reconsider their occupational tax increase and start talking about how can we cut expenses versus adding another burden to the working families. Anybody have any questions? I think it's important for us to do that. I do this when we got married. Kate and I got married. I sat down because she didn't like it too much. I was making the notes about all our payments, what our income was, and it wasn't what you didn't put your gross income. You put your take-home pay, and that's hard for people to do. And that was 33 years ago. But you make it work by doing that. And this person here is going to have a hard time paying that additional $200.
Is that about what it'll be per family, is $200?
Well, you take a $40,000 times 0.5. That's $200. And she's already paying. They're already paying $200 to the city, $208 to the city. So you're basically doubling it. So where would she cut that? That's if you don't have to go to the dentist. That's if your school supplies. If you're lucky enough to get some school supplies, hand-me-downs, or whatever. And believe me, as a judge, I see a lot of people in this office that come to me from time to time that need assistance because they can't make ends meet. And this community is full of people like that. I just think and I want to bring it to the forefront today and put the city on notice that there are people that have a hard time making it, and they are working every day.
We cannot do anything.
We can't control it.
Correct.
No, we can't control it. I was hoping some of the city officials would be here today. I thought if I put that on the agenda, or at least a dispatch, I'd get a few of them in, but I didn't do it. But anyway, I want to get that off my chest, because it will continue to rise. There'll be other, when you go from spending, putting a full-time fire department on, and you have no resources to pay for it down the road, then all of a sudden you got to back up and say, how are we going to pay for it now? It's not good business. And we have one of the city council people here that candidates for city council. Well, there's definitely going to be 2 new ones, so I kind of hope you're one of them.
16 running.
I hope you're one of them. I don't mind telling the public that. But you would be a good one. But anyway, anything else related to the agenda, guys?
Judge, I do have one issue. When do we want to advertise for second on the tax rates? It have to be at the 20th, I'm guessing.
We're talking about
They're weighing, tight. But
So, Sheriff, when do you have to get those printed up?
Here pretty quick.
no less than 7, not more than 21, so we can't make the 6th. You'd almost have to do a special meeting if you want.
Ron and I talked, what did we decide on Ron the other day?
We thought maybe the 13th.
13, have a special meeting? I'm glad you brought that up, because we talked about it.
Yeah.
Now, don't blame me, you can blame the Kentucky Standard.
Oh.
Not the news department. Not our friends at the news department.
Judge, I want to say on the dispatching, we had a special meeting of you and the mayor and the 2 attorneys got together, and the whole court, we thought had an agreement. We left here, we thought had agreement.
It was very positive, on our side.
It's pretty disappointing, and you look at the video, all the holes we shot in it. Very, very disappointing. You guys wasted a lot of time putting it together. Very, very disappointing.
I understand. We were disappointed. Matthew put a lot of work into
But I
that
don't think any
particular.
court member.
We
all
spent
know
2
we
solid
got-
hours.
Even the mayor, the mayor said, he didn't see any problem, apparently.
I understand. So, everybody okay on that 13th September meeting? Sheriff, that'd be the earliest we can get him by law.
I will let Melissa know, but I'll have her call.
My phone's gonna be off the hook.
Is that going to be in addition to instead of regular meetings?
That'd be an addition. I won't make you earn any money. That's what Sam
Yeah, that's fine.
Sam said he had 3 meetings this August. I said,
Sam said
"Look."
he's meeting out, he wouldn't come to them.
Oh, okay, on the 13th, that's a Tuesday morning, I believe, right? Rhonda, that's
Yes.
13th
13th, Tuesday the 13th.
at 9 a.m. Okay? Motion to adjourn. Bernard Ice, second by Jeff Lear. All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry.